Good evening, everyone. This is the first ever live on YouTube show that I've done, and I was terribly excited about it until I realized that it's a whole lot more complicated than I had anticipated. So I'm going to tell you the story a little bit tonight and then give you a background as to what we're planning to do for this live show once I get all the technical bugs worked out. Um, there's some space right over there that's big and open and empty that you can see my lamp and my stickers on my wall and a little bit of art. That's the space that's supposed to be holding the chat box. So as we are interacting, that you can actually read the chat as it comes up on the screen, and we can have a two-way interaction. Well, the chat is working. However, the chat box embedded in my video is not working. Problem number one. Problem number two is that I created these slides for tonight, and in that area over there, the slides were supposed to show a little refresher or about what we're doing here tonight. Unfortunately, those slides also didn't want to rotate. For some reason, I'm using an encoder called slobs, and apparently their image slideshow presenter doesn't work. And they acknowledge it doesn't work, so I don't know exactly why they have it as part of their program if it doesn't work. So that was utter failure number two tonight. Utter failure number three was that the first time I tried the test, there was severe lag. So everything that I was saying was 20 to 30 seconds behind the live stream, which kind of defeats the purpose of being live. I wanted to have everyone be able to participate in the chat box and talk to me as we go, but unfortunately, with a 30-second delay, that wasn't realistic. So I changed the video format, eliminated all of the eye candy and whistles and bells, and now I'm just here, you, me, a camera, and a microphone. That was failure number three. Failure number four was that I realized if I want to watch the stream, that I had to do so in another window, and the sound from the stream was leaking into my microphone, causing an echo effect. So, failure number three. Finally, I went down and dirty, stripped it all down, turned off the audio, and I'm just sitting here talking to myself. And last but not least, I realized that I'm really funny looking because on my screen, my face is backwards. Now, normally, I don't really worry about that because it doesn't bother me to have my face on backwards. My face is on forward for you, but it is kind of very strange because I'm seeing a mirror image of myself. So when I'm trying to look left or right or up and down still works, but left and right does not work. I get all confused. So that's the story of my full day of utter failure trying to go live. Well, the good news is we have 5 people on right now. Not a big crowd, but that's about 5 more people than I normally have talking to me in the middle of the night at my desk. So let's join in the fun, and we'll talk a little bit about what I have planned for this new channel. So first of all, in the chat box next to your uh, browser or below the video window, if you're on mobile, just say something. Throw out an emoji, whatever it is. Let me know that you are alive and well and participating. So go ahead and do that now, and then I'm going to ask you for a couple of favors as I tell you a little bit about what my plans are for this channel. First, I wanted to jump in full force. I'm going to do 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. on the West Coast. And we're going to do it for about 30 minutes. My goal is to start and end on time. Try 30 minutes a night. I may have to cut that down if I find that people aren't sticking around through the whole thing. Each night after tonight, we'll have a theme. And the theme will be kind of a question that I want to pose to you. My goal with this podcast is not to be Alex Jones or Rachel Maddow or any of the others. I want to bring you interesting things that I find intriguing in the news. Some of them will be curiosities, some of them will be controversial. I want to present thoughtful insight as much as I can and a real broad spectrum of evaluation. My goal is not to tell you what to think or what I believe or go off on a rant. My goal is to get you to think and question and evaluate your own feelings. And that could be pro or anti a certain cause. I'll talk a little bit about politics, but I want to get away from the red versus blue or the black versus white issues. I want to show that there are really many shades in between. And that not only goes for politics, but really, everything that we do, there's very little of it that is cut and dry. And I think that we are inundated with short blips of opinions. And that's why I wanted to take my time to consider each of these topics that we bring up and get your insights as well. I want this to be a real interactive experience. We have lots of ways that you can interact with me. First of all, live, you can type directly into the chat box and join us that way and throw your opinions in front of everyone. You also will be able to email me. I'll put my email address up at the end. My hope is that once I get the technology piece of it worked out, that I have the ability actually to bring in live callers into the show and have two-way conversations. I'm working on a few ways of doing that with video to make it easy so that anyone can do it. I don't want this to be a situation where you have to have special software to be able to participate. We're probably going to use either Zoom or Skype and try to import those conversations into the video. And I also want to bring in more than just my opinions. I'll be bringing in some subject matter experts wherever I'm able to acquire those experts. But because it's in real time and we want to be very timely, some of those times it's going to be difficult because I literally have a few hours from when the topic arises, if it's a newsworthy topic, to be able to come up with a subject matter expert. So I'm hoping to find some insightful people who can be essentially at my beck and call, but also whose opinions are different from mine. The next piece that I want to really focus on is creating some useful content out of these videos. So while we're going to do them live every night, at the same time, I'm going to take the final videos, trim them down and cut them down, and produce videos in a more digestible format. This is going to be handy for those people who don't want to stay up till 11 o'clock and don't necessarily want to give a 30-minute, listen to a 30-minute conversation about something, but just want to get the highlights. And so we're going to try to do that in 3 10-minute segments. So each night we will have 3 segments, roughly 10 minutes each, and then we'll chop them up to make 3 little mini videos on a particular topic. And hopefully some of those videos will catch a little bit of fire, because I'm realistic. I don't expect thousands of people to tune in every night to my live YouTube broadcast, but I'm hoping that the videos that we create together will have some value to other listeners as we produce them and feature them on the channel. All right, I have some homework for you. First of all, if you're on Facebook, go to facebook.com/Nightly Muse, and Nightly Muse has a Facebook page. I'm going to be publishing the videos after the fact onto that Facebook page, but also each night I will pop a link into there so people can come over to YouTube from there as soon as the live video is produced. The finished videos, once we're done, will also be featured on there, so you can watch them whenever you're comfortable. The second thing I want you to do is, if you don't have a YouTube account, create one. It's very easy. It works with Gmail. So if you already have a Gmail address, then you already have a YouTube account. But log in using your YouTube account or Gmail address, and once you click on one of the links and watch one of the live videos, I need you to do 2 things for me. First, hit the little like thumbs up button. That's important because that tells YouTube that my videos are watchable. And the more likes and thumbs up we get, the better off the channel is going to be, because more people will be able to participate if YouTube helps us out by promoting it a little bit. The second thing is hit the subscribe button, and this is very, very important. The subscription button allows me, once I get to 100 subscribers, to get a vanity URLs. For example, youtube.com/Nightly Muse. You may have noticed tonight that the video had this big, long, weird domain link and or URL, and it's not one that anyone could remember or memorize. So it's not going to do anybody any good. What we want to do is get to a nice, easy to remember domain so that lots of people can come back every night and it's easy to remember. Unfortunately, YouTube does not allow us to have one of those nice domains until we have 100 subscribers and 30 days of history. So starting today, I'm going to start counting down the number of subscribers we have, and we're going to try to get to 100 before 30 days has gone by. Once 30 days has gone by, I will get the handy dandy awesome domain name, and we will be able to spread it far and wide. The next thing I'd like you to do, but not today, because I'm not ready yet, is I bought the domain nightlymuse.com, and I'm going to be hosting information on there and also having a sign-up box so you can put your email address in and it will notify you whenever we're going live. It'll also let you know the topics a little bit in advance because, let's face it, no one wants to listen to a live show if they don't know what's coming. We're 15 minutes in, so we're going to take a little breather and shift gears to kind of a funny, sad, but ridiculous human interest story that has come across the wires today in Pennsylvania. In the Olney section of Philadelphia, today there were roughly 300 to 400 baby chickens rescued by the Pennsylvania SPCA. This, if anyone is unfamiliar with the Olney section, this is a very urban neighborhood. And apparently, the owner of a business decided that he would put about 1,000 chickens into an empty parking lot next to his building, raise them up, and sell them for food. Unfortunately, what he didn't realize is that a Center City parking lot is a really bad place to raise baby chickens. So most of them were dead already within 3 days. And the SPCA came to rescue them, and they took away his chickens, and now they have hundreds and hundreds of baby chickens. However, the problem is that the SPCA doesn't want the chickens to go to a farm where they will eventually be grown up and killed for food. Because we all love animals. Animals are people too, right? So they are trying desperately to find several hundred or several, maybe 1,000 people that are going to adopt these 4-day-old baby chickens and raise them as family pets and not promise not to kill them. So they're sending baby chickens to all of the no-kill animal shelters around the state that they can find, begging people to please take and make a baby chicken your pet. I love animals, and I love puppies, and I love kitties, and I even like the weird ones. Pretty much the only thing you won't find ever in my home would be chihuahuas and those freaky hairless cats that look like some kind of lizard. Sorry, not gonna happen. However, I think of chickens as livestock. You don't think of them as pets. I mean, if you think about it, they are the quintessential livestock food meant to be eaten. They produce eggs, yep, that's good. But they're designed to be eaten. Think about it this way. We eat cows and we eat pigs. But even with cows and pigs, we don't name them the same as the dish. We don't say, Mom, what's for dinner? She says cow. She says steak or hamburger or ribs or what have you. You don't say, Mom, what's for dinner? She says, we're having pig. It's pork chops or bacon or ham. But when you say to Mom, what's for dinner? And it's a cow or a pig, you name it something else. But when it's a chicken, you just call it chicken. We get it. We eat chickens. So, my opinion is that these no-kill animal shelters should really think about giving them away as foodstuffs. Sure, it'd be nice if they all lived happily ever after as a pet, but come on, it's a chicken. They're adorable and delicious. That's my 2 cents worth. So give me your opinions on the great chicken caper of West Philadelphia. Let me know what you think. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.